Hello, you're back with Dave and Tim at the Single Malt Review, and it's rum o'clock again.
It's rum o'clock 24/7. It's never going to end. The Rum Time Eternal continues, and it's time for another one from the lovely Plantation tasting set here. And this time, it's the Grande Reserve. The Grande Reserve.
Aged rum.
Yeah, once again entombed within this extremely secure plastic covering, which I should have taken off before we started the video, but that's just not how we roll here at the Single Malt Review. That would be far too organised. Oh, this one's really going to do me now. I have now walked into this one. This is becoming a bit... What a bastard. Who would do this? Who would make this? Oh, here we go. So, the Grande Reserve. Aged rum. The curiously and ambiguously titled Aged Rum.
After all, the entire set we have here, including the white rum, is all aged. Aged twice, in fact. Once in its home country, and then again in France at Plantation's facilities.
Yes, neat. And a quick glance at the, actually, and I recommend you do this too, the remarkably granular and detailed information on the Plantation website, which has the sort of taxonomy of all of these rums and shockingly honest detail, everything you could possibly want to know, which is got to be a first in the world of the otherwise murky world of rum. Tells me that Grande Reserve it may be, this rum isn't particularly old. This has matured for a maximum of 3 years in country,
Barbados in this instance.
in the tropics, and then an additional 1 year maximum, which is really just a finish. We're talking maturations here, back in the old country in France in ex-cognac barrels. So this is 4-year-old rum, really. 4-year-old rum max.
Also post-sweetened.
Yes, as I've discovered, well, thus far they've all been post-sweetened with a, as the French refer to it, in a very French word, dosage, which anyone familiar with the manufacture of champagne or its poor cousin Cremant will be very familiar with that term. But that is just it is a dosage of, in champagne's case, a sweet wine rather than straight sugar, but in rum's case, sugar to sweeten it on the end. So at least I can say they are honest about it. But the dosage plague continues.
Because that's actually a practice which is simply not legal in some of the rum producing countries, so it must happen after it goes off to France.
Yes, indeed. Well, once they've got it in France, what's Barbados going to do? Anyway, what have we got here with the Grande Reserve? It's a lighter nose.
It is a very light. There's a lot of just clear mineral water coming through, but there is a good some toffee apple, hint of spice, some malty toast.
For a rum, this is remarkably. It is remarkably.
It's very clean,
kind
very
of
clear.
taut. There's a mineral quality to here, which you normally wouldn't even get a look at in rums because the sugarcane element is so strong. This is very, not to call it standoffish, but it's a very lilting nose compared to the standard one for rum. A real minerality coming through here. Almost, I mean, the peat presumably has no part in rum manufacture, but if was this a whiskey, I'd be looking for little threads of peat in here. But intriguing. What could it possibly taste like?
Oh, that's sharp and acid and a little
That is weird. What is going on?
spicy, a little bit of fruit. You have to consult the tasting notes inside the box.
That's a very, and I mean, I suppose given that it is only 4 years old, it's very, very spirit driven.
Yeah. The notes here might remind us that Barbados rum is known for its rich, smooth fruitiness. And combined with a double aging process, Grande Reserve has all the complexity you want for a sipping rum, flavour equally suited to extraordinary cocktails. Fruity and smooth with notes of grilled coconut and woody vanilla. I
don't know if I can go with the smooth.
Definitely getting the coconut. There's a nice toasty coconut underneath.
Yeah, grilled or otherwise. Can't say I've ever grilled a coconut, but so I guess something happens. This is peculiar. There is, I'm not sure if I would call this one smooth. I call this one fairly. There's a tang to this one. There's a sharpness to the flavour.
Curious bite to it,
and
which I like though. It's
There's something. It's halfway between confectionery and medicinal on the end of this one. And what is it?
It's making me think of, say, coconut and lime fish. Anything that's been crumbed and grilled or fried with coconut.
It's a weird confectionery. I may be speaking to you alone here, because this might be a New Zealand confectionery, but do you ever try those gross pink smokers as a kid?
Yes, that's what's referred to internationally as musk flavour.
Musk flavour?
Yeah.
Well, this has got some musk flavour. I'm glad you knew more about it, because I'll bet pink smoker means absolutely balls to anybody else. But
It's a pink, hard, gritty, sort of powdery, chalky confection with that
it's
sort
a
of faintly
unique
cinnamony
taste,
musk
and
taste.
it's not a taste that I seek out whatsoever. But
I see what you mean, though. I'm getting that now.
But on the end of this, it's maybe one part. How would I describe the taste? It's one part cinnamon, certainly, and another part maybe mace or or clove, even clove. Actually, that's that pervasive spicy flavour. That's how I describe it. Cinnamon x clove, and that's kind of what's going on the end of this one. And I think because of the lighter body and the lighter flavours, that sugar, that dosage, is that much more evident, because there is a downright sweetness on this one. This one, if you couldn't figure it out already, I think I'm going downhill on this one. I'm not quite sure I agree with the Grande Reserve treatment they've given this one. I think I might prefer the original dark.
Yeah.
Ordinary though it may be, this one's just a bit too weird for me.
What was the dosage on this? This was like 16 grams
It was 16,
per litre?
which works out as, convert that to can of Coke, and that's, I guess this is...
About 1/10 of the sugar content of Coca-Cola.
That changes yet again if you're using Imperial, but for us that would be 1.6 grams per 100 mil, which is bugger all. That's kombucha, essentially. So it's not a lot of sugar, but I think the slighter nature of the flavour means that's coming through a lot more for me, and I don't know if I'm on board.
It's just a peculiar deviation from what we've experienced in aged rums, and even we tend to avoid the post-sweetened rums where we can, but it's different even from those.
For my part, this has gone in a different direction for sure, but for my taste, it has gone in the wrong direction. This one's an 82 for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now this one's going. I don't know where it's going, but it's going in the wrong direction. They're going to back up the truck on this one, if you would take my advice.
I like the sort of confrontational and slightly deviating from the straight and narrow that this rum does. So there's enjoyment to be found in just things it does so differently from its stablemates. But at the same time, some of those differences just a bit too confounding, perplexing, just off the beaten track so far. I'll give it 84 though. It is definitely an experience, just not what I've enjoyed consistently.
Oh wow, like marzipan with the water as well. This is really strange, man. I don't know, something up with this one. I don't know. Drinker be warned, and thusly you have been.
But we'll be back soon with more rum.
Oh, there's another grand involved, but an entirely different rum. So anyway, stick around for that one. The ride never ends. Sludger.